evolution is real, and if there is this constant, I don't know, but it's visible. Like you can measure it in certain animals.
You can measure adaptation.
Yeah.
But there's no evidence that in fact, I think we've kind of given up on the idea of evolution. The theory of evolution as articulated by Darwin is like kind of not true. Right?
In what sense?
Well, in the most basic sense, the idea that, all life emerged from a single cell organism and over time, and there would be a fossil record of that, and there's not. And
there's not a fossil record of transitionary species, like species that are adapting to its environment.
There's
and they
tons
develop...
of record of adaptation, and you see it in your own life. I mean, I have a lot of dogs. I see adaptation in dogs, through the litter to litter. But no, there's no evidence at all that zero, that people evolve seamlessly from a single cell amoeba. No, there's not. There's no chain in the fossil record of that at all. And that's why you don't actually hear people, you hear them make reference to evolution because the theory of adaptation is clearly, obviously true. But Darwin's theory's totally, that's why it's still a theory almost 200 years later. No, we have not found that at all. And I can't even guess. I mean, I have my own theories on it, but they're not proven.
What are your theories?
God created people, distinctly, and animals. I mean, I think what every person on Earth thought until the mid-19th century, actually.
Right.
So you seen that, you heard that, you seen Tucker Carlson have doubts about theory of evolution. I do. I have thought about Darwinism as well. I don't believe that a single organism is able to branch out and diversify into different distinct species. I don't think no matter how much times you adaptate a dinosaur, it'll always be a dinosaur. It'll never become a dragon, right? I think that's what I took from that clip, right? And one of the reasons why I don't believe in the theory of evolution is that, to me, is all of it is what? A comprehensive rationalizations or an assumption about how you thought life ended up the way it is, right? Oh, I got the single organism. We have evidence to suggest. It's easy to dunk on Tucker Carlson here. He's just simply wrong about Darwinism. Why is he wrong? Because he says something that goes against your beliefs, right? I could say the same thing about you not accepting intellectual design. Why is he just plainly wrong about that? I could just say you're plainly wrong about Darwinism because it doesn't have a proper explanation at the same clarity that intellectual design does. The reason why there's similar DNA sequences in various species is because it's like a signature, right? If I believe we're created in the image of our creator, right? Okay. We're an extension of our creator. Okay. When you create a product, it has a similar style, like a signature, like who crafted this thing. DNA sequences can be operated the same way. You created two distinct things. There's a difference between an iPod, an iPhone, and an iPad, but they all have a similar aesthetic that's make them recognizable as an Apple product. I can say the same thing about DNA sequences here. Distinct organisms, but they have similarities. But they all have their own. A monkey will always be a monkey. A human will always be a human. The look may be different, but there always was that thing since the beginning of the very first human on Earth. But Darwinism, you making rationalizations about, oh, look at these things we don't recognize. We'll categorize them as an earlier evolution standpoint of a bird. To me, it seems like a comprehensive way of explaining how life began, right? The people are calling him a zealot corner and whatever, humility sweet straws. I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot of skepticism surrounding it. Right? For anyone searching, if you're interested in learning more about this, I recommend Darwin's Black Box by Michael Behe. I think I say his name up. Darwin's Doubt by Stephen Meyer. Mind and Cosmos by Thomas Nagel. And Deniable Darwin by David Belinsky. Also, any of the scientists who signed this dissent. Sorry, and who signed the dissent. Now, someone's saying, hey, these are not factual because these are not evolutionary biologists. And my argument for that is that I don't believe evolutionary biologists don't have they have a stick in this fight. They have a thing in this fight because they have to defend their discipline. It's as if you question a DEI person about the impact of DEI. You know they're going to defend it. They know they're going to feel justified in pushing that theory or that concept or that worldview. Well, we need diversity. No, evolutionary theory does explain life. It does make sense. Well, it makes sense to you, but people are still skeptical of it. You haven't shown. There's no concrete evidence to really fully justify. All you really gave us is an educated guess, just like intellectual design. Hey, look at everything so perfectly aligned. If it moves too left, too right, it's gonna be too hot, too cold. Well, nothing sustainable for right. It's just right. It's as if someone, intellectual design. But we don't have hard evidence to fully suggest and prove. No, intellectual design actually explains the reality of life. Darwinism operates in that same mode. But people, right, and this is why I say atheists are intellectually arrogant. They run with that and say, oh, no, this is the fact of life. How is it any different than a belief system? I get why some might be skeptical of evolution, given that scientists have lied to your face about the biology of sex, but actually look at the evidence. It meets a level of comprehensive and empirical support rarely achieved in science, right? And this is the Wikipedia page he argued, but then when I look, the whole core of his argument is the last universal common ancestor, and this is what I'm gonna read from here just to make my point. The last universal common ancestor is a hypothesized. Like I said, just like a hypothesized common, like the common ancestry for my scenario is a creator, right? Big Bang, right? Right, a cell from which the tree you get this. It's hypothesized. That means, in my view, it's an educated guess. You saw fossils and you attributed, oh, they're from the same animal. They have to be, right? And this, I forget why I showed you guys this thing. I think the reason I showed you is because he made this claim, oh, you evangelists, right wingers are if you didn't want to see a post defending evolution, you shouldn't have followed an evolutionary biologist, which is my point. Hey, he's a biased actor. Sorry. He's not giving you facts. He's just trying to protect his status. Because imagine if no one believed in evolutionary biology. No matter what sense he's guy made, everyone said, what's your evidence? Oh, that's not evidence. That's just an educated guess. That's not real evidence. Show us the evidence. And let's say majority of society don't believe in evolutionary biology anymore. He loses credibility. He loses his ability to flex his credentials as an evolutionary biologist. So in a bias, human bias, this is one thing on my channel that I always point out. Everyone has bias. And I think the most honest conversation you can have is to recognize that bias. He is incentivized to defend the theory of evolution. He is incentivized to advocate and evangelize this position. Go in there knowing that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Go in there knowing that. Tucker Carlson has zero evidence for Darwinism's evolution that God directly created people and animals, although he widely then concedes that adaptations occurred. Yes, but adaptation, this is my argument too. I asked that, if you follow me on Twitter, I asked that. Right, because he says, I can't believe the evangelical right is actually trying to use missing link argument to deny human evolution. What year is this? Like, oh my God, right? Because I'm not Christian, I'm not evangelist, and this is a question I asked. I asked him, what do you mean by human evolution? Is it adapting to an environment? Because Tucker acknowledges adaptation. A change or the process of change by which an organism or a species become better suited to its environment. And isn't science about questioning assumptions? And that's what science is about. It's about questioning assumptions, right? You can't come in here tell me I can't question the theory of evolution when you just lead up with theory. And some people say, oh, theory in science is different from theory in speech. No, it's not. An educated guess. That's what a theory means. Based on some evidence that suggests this, but it's not conclusive. So we're all just believing in things, right? And this is the post I'm talking about. Tucker misunderstands that in everyday speech, theory refers to a hunch or a speculation, but in science, it refers to a comprehensive explanation of nature. Comprehensive explanation of nature. Based on what? Rationalism or empiricism? Now, you claim to have both, but not really. It's just really like suggestions. I don't know. But I have much to be desired. Many scientific theories are so well established that no new evidence needs to be had. And I'm like, yes, there is. Like, you talk about this time span. There's mathematics that challenge the theory of evolution. Like, It is not like there's no common consensus around this. And this is my fallacy of authority signals going off. Oh, you're in positions of authority to tell me how life began, but you're an evolutionary biologist. That's like me asking a Christian how life began. And if I don't expect a creationist argument, like, come on. This is why I want to debate. I feel like Tucker Carlson just sparked a need for a debate. I think we need a debate on these topics. I honestly do. Just let me know your thoughts about this. Do you agree with Tucker Carlson's explanation? Do you think he's just dead wrong? He's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know, a lot of people on Ben Shapiro's side about this one, about his, especially the bomb of Hiroshima. To me, like I said, war is not about morality. War is about functionality and practicalism, I think. But, you know, I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.